So we have seen an issue where our memory was getting initialized with a value of 0, and then we are like we found a bug in our test bench where we were like assuming it to be x. So let us now fix that. Let us go to our example. So here, so we know, okay, this part of the code was where we were actually checking for 8 tick hxx, correct? So now what we are trying to do, we are trying to like review our memory with defines. So what we are trying to do, this is the define. Now how we have done it in this case is like we are checking that if there is no define with respect to this already defined. If that is the case, then we are defining our own initialization value, which was our existing one, correct? So based on the data width, this was 1 tick bx, so our init value will be that x values, correct? But if somebody defines this value, then the user specified value would be passed to our module, correct? Now let us run this. So if you run this, now in this case this is exactly similar to the previous one, correct? Like we have not changed our logic to match it to 0. We have just given enough control for user to pass this value, correct? So because this test bench has this check here, and by default we are not defining this defined value anywhere else, correct? This defines the value is x. Now how does user pass this? Like as we earlier discussed, we have a compile option and a runtime option. So what we could do, this defines are a compile time options what we need to pass, correct? So for this test to pass, if you see, like we need to initialize the memory with 0. So what we can do, we can in the compile options, what we can give like this, we can do a plus define plus mem init value, and then we are saying initialize this value to 0, correct? So this is the compile time option which is needed for this define to work, correct? Now different simulators might have different syntax for passing defines. Some follows hyphen define space mem init value equal to 0, like. So depending on the simulator what you're trying to use, you might have to check the appropriate syntax and then use it, correct? So for this particular case, this is the way we have defined our init value. Now let us run this. So now what would it happen, that we know that okay, our memories are getting initialized to 0, and then in our test also when we pass this init value will be replaced with zeros, and then we'll be checking when there was no write to a memory and then a read was performed, we'll check against 0. So now if you see this test passes, and then we can simply run it for a longer time just to see that it doesn't break anything. So meanwhile this is running, like now this brings us to the close to our verification, like Verilog review, correct? So in this like couple of sessions, what we have tried to refresh our concepts which we have discussed which we already know based on Verilog. We have introduced certain constructs like always ff, logic, the associative array, like some of the constructs which are present in like SystemVerilog, correct? From now we are going to discuss each and every details of SystemVerilog data types, classes, structures, complex data types, like how and then build upon SystemVerilog language. Thank you.